In this breaking story, Donald Trump's Attorney General Pam Bondi was just caught lying and exposed on live TV. That's right, America used to be a place where the president actually had a shred of dignity and honesty. Now we have a president who lies nonstop, so much so, it's pretty much just expected. And now things are only getting worse for the Trump administration. How's it going? My name is Hunter Avalone with Occupy Democrats. Welcome back to another video. When I think of Donald Trump, I honestly think of somebody that's just unstable. Trump is constantly overreaching his control. He's always testing the boundaries. And just recently we covered how Trump demanded that Harvard stop their DEI-related programs. Harvard, of course, rejected Trump's insane demands, so Trump predictably retaliated, this time by withholding over $2 billion in federal funding to Harvard. And to make matters worse, Harvard researchers say they might have to lay off workers and euthanize research animals due to Donald Trump's funding freeze.
The fallout from Trump's war on higher education just turned life-threatening. Harvard University has been forced to halt over $2.2 billion in federally funded research after refusing to comply with Trump administration policy demands. Critical medical studies, like tuberculosis vaccine trials and ALS treatment research, are now frozen, with some projects ordered to euthanize lab animals if outside funding can't be found. Harvard's medical school says staff layoffs and program cuts are imminent. Scientists warn the damage extends nationwide, jeopardizing labs at MIT, UMass, and more. One professor called the cancellations a travesty that will cost lives and hand America's scientific leadership to China.
Moving on to another example of Donald Trump's incompetence. Recently, numerous American citizens received letters telling them they have to leave the country immediately.
Carmen Bello is talking about the notice she got this weekend from the Department of Homeland Security, stating boldly in the email, "It's time for you to leave the United States."
I believe it's a scare tactic. I know that psychologically, just seeing a letter like this saying you have to leave the country because you're here legally.
Bello has been a U.S. citizen for decades after coming here from the Dominican Republic. You're as American as apple pie.
I am. Yes, I've been here my whole life.
And it's not just immigrants getting notices. Attorney Nicole Micciarone has a U.S. passport, birth certificate, and driver's license to prove her citizenship, and she got the same message. Do not attempt to remain in the United States. The federal government will find you. Please depart the United States immediately.
That's right, U.S. citizens were receiving these letters. It seems abundantly clear that since Trump took over and Doge has been meddling with everything, that the Department of Homeland Security has no clue what they're actually doing. It's like they're just sending these letters out at random without doing any research.
DHS has admitted that some of these emails have gone to unintended recipients.
Now, on top of all of this, we come to the moment that you've all been waiting for, when Donald Trump's administration was brutally exposed and called out live on TV. This right here, my friends, is why you shouldn't lie. It all started when Attorney General Pam Bondi was giving a press conference and she was confronted by a reporter.
Kilmar Abrego Garcia in Maryland. He's in a prison now in El Salvador. He was sent there. You insist, the president, everybody in the administration insists that he is MS-13. It appears that there's not going to be any sort of trial. He's not going to come back. DHS said he would be arrested and redeported if he comes back. Why not show the American people the evidence that he's MS-13 so they can make an informed decision?
Well, he is an illegal alien who has been living illegally in our country from El Salvador.
So while Pam Bondi continued to spiel off a bunch of lies, it didn't take long for MSNBC to call her out live on air.
The Attorney General was defiant this morning, despite 3 courts, including the Supreme Court, now saying the White House must do something to bring Kilmar Abrego Garcia back to the U.S.
He is an illegal alien who has been living illegally in our country from El Salvador. ICE testified, an immigration judge ruled he was a member of MS-13. An appellate judge ruled he was a member of MS-13. He's from El Salvador, he's in El Salvador, and that's where the president plans on keeping him.
We got to do a quick fact check here. The administration has yet to provide any evidence Abrego Garcia has ties to MS-13. Furthermore, the 29-year-old has never been formally charged or convicted, either here in the U.S. or in El Salvador. A federal district court judge on Tuesday laid into the Trump administration, saying they've done, quote, nothing to comply with her requests. The judge added she won't tolerate future gamesmanship or grandstanding. And this case could very well end up back in the Supreme Court. But in the meantime, Abrego Garcia's wife, who is a U.S. citizen, was close to tears yesterday outside the courthouse in Maryland.
I will not stop fighting until I see my husband alive. Stop playing political games with the life of Kilmer. Enough is enough. My family can't be robbed from another day without seeing Kilmer.
So this is absolutely heartbreaking, but I am happy to see MSNBC calling out the Trump administration's lies. And luckily, this is working, as more and more Republicans even are waking up to the nonsense that Trump has been engaged in. In fact, just recently, various Republicans were confronted for telling the same lies.
And we would like to know what you, as the people, the Congress, who are supposed to rein in this dictator, what are you going to do about it? These people have been sentenced to life imprisonment in a foreign country with no due process. Our government cannot do anything. Why won't you do your job, Senator?
Yes. Why? Obeying the Supreme Court. Trump's not obeying the Supreme Court. He just ignores them. Yeah, screw it.
This is something that the previous administration could have done. They chose not to.
All in all, the people that still care about the Constitution are greatly concerned about this overall issue. They recognize the problem with the Trump administration blatantly and freely lying nonstop. Trump has absolutely no respect for the Constitution or the law, and unfortunately, neither does his administration. But it does appear that it's only a matter of time until the American people completely lose respect for Trump.